Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio Tuesday morning. Not only did the Chiefs lose their first regular season game, they also lost one of their star receivers in the first few minutes of that game, and it looks like he's dislocated his shoulder. Early reports were like, he can play in a sling. I don't think that's possible. What about you?
Well, Andy Reid gave a statement on it yesterday to the media, and that's really the only basis for which one can offer an opinion, and Andy said it's day by day. Well, that could be buying time on his part, because I really feel like the Chiefs are looking at a second opinion on this thing. It could be surgery. That, of course, would put this kid Worthy out for the year. They talk about bracing it. Well, when you have a dislocated shoulder, you can reduce it. You can put it back in place right away, but that doesn't replace the ligaments and the tendons and the muscle tissue and all that that's been certainly disrupted. So if the doctors, I assume, if they say he can be braced, that wouldn't be right away. It would be in a couple of weeks. They say surgery. I think we'll probably find out something a little bit later on today or maybe tomorrow as to what the decision's going to be, but I don't look for him to play against Philadelphia.
I don't think that's going to be possible. It would have been kind of nice to get that Tank pickup.
Well, Tank's a good player.
There he is. We'll see.
He was All-America at Auburn, and he was their leading rusher at Auburn, and, of course, he was one of Jacksonville's star players. He's going to the Philadelphia Eagles as a replacement running back for Shipley, who was hurt. But Shipley he'll be back in uniform probably before too much longer. What do the Chiefs do with the wide receivers? Well, you've got Hollywood Brown, of course, and he had his ups and downs. Had 10 catches in the game in Sao Paulo, Brazil. You've got Juju Smith-Schuster, who's an old pro but is beginning to slow up. You've got Kelsey, of course. You've got Tyquan Thornton, who made a great catch in the game. Nico Remigio from Fresno State, he can play. He's got a lot of speed. What his hands are like, I don't know. Jason Brownlee, we saw him make a one-handed catch in the exhibition season. Of course, you have Royals, but he's out with a knee injury. It is not the wide receiver core that the Chiefs were hoping to have at this time of the year, but I think it'll get better. I don't really feel like it's the death knell in any way.
I don't think the receiving core is going to be the issue. I think it's going to be the defensive backfield. But that's
defensive backfield. I think you made a very good point yesterday when Justin Reed was not there. He's with the New Orleans Saints now and played out his option. The Chiefs let him go, and he was a big deal. Stanford kid. He's a pretty good ball player.
What my biggest cause for concern was, I think last year a lot of the wins that we got were because we were so quick to adjust, and almost in real time sometimes. It was just so fast, and I feel like this time, at least that first game, and again, it's early, and maybe we're just getting a slow start. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but we'll see on Sunday for sure. The adjustments just were not made, and that just gives you a little cause for concern. We'll see again. We got a lot of football to play, and next up, the Eagles, and we'll see you on Sunday. Last night, speaking of slow starts, was kind of a slow first half, but then that thing got going towards the end.
Well, Minnesota did not play very well in the first half. Chicago Bears had things going for them. Caleb Williams looked really good. They were up 17-6 at one time, and thought, hey, the Bears are going to pull a surprise here. Not so fast. J.J. McCarthy got hot in the second half. McCarthy's a second-year guy with the Vikings, came out of Michigan. He can play. He was 13 of 20 through the air and had a couple of touchdowns in the fourth period. It's, to me, Mike, it's amazing. These National Football League games, a couple of them, no more than a couple, a whole slew of them are going to the final period when they're decided. And that strikes me as being storybook stuff. But anyway, the Vikings win the game 27-24. Two touchdown passes by McCarthy, and then he ran for a third, all in the fourth period. 21 points in the fourth period, and that put the Minnesota Vikings on top of the Bears 27-24, gave them a victory, and that's the way the first Monday Night Football game went.
Up till the next game we got on Thursday night, Commandos and Packers.
And watch out for the Washington Ball Club. They're very, very good.
I think that's going to be a hell of a game, and we, of course, will be at Coyote Sports Cafe. The St. Louis Cardinals in the Pacific Northwest, and could definitely help the Royals in their situation. Tell me they did help them.
No, they did not. not. The Seattle Mariners get the win by a score of 4-2. You know, this is kind of a shame. Seattle does play, obviously, in the Pacific Northwest, biggest city in the state of Washington, but they fly under the radar with publicity. The kid on the hill for the Mariners last night, Brian Woo, and W-O-O, nobody's ever heard of him before. All he was an American League All-Star this year and an outstanding pitcher, played at Cal Poly, and that happens to be Ozzie Smith's alma mater, and he pitched, he being Woo, very, very well. Gave up 2 runs, 3 hits, over 6 innings, left the game having struck out 9 Cardinals, who ended the game having struck out 14 times last night. And here come the Mariners back, trailing 2-0, had a 4-run rally in the 6th, and that was the ball game. Final score is 4-2. Seattle gets the win over the Cardinals. Seattle's a pretty good baseball team. They do have that key pitching. So, no, the Royals were not helped. As a matter of fact, the Royals were hurt by this.
Yeah, and then on top of that, they didn't do themselves any favor against the Guardians.
Well, the Cleveland Guardians get the win 10-2, and it was another pitcher who kind of flies under the radar a bit, Sleets Coney, who is a Miami University All-America, and all he did was have the Royals no-hit until the 8th inning, and that's when the no-hitter was broken up. The Royals got 1 hit in the 8th inning. Then Sconey left the game. Zach Kent came in, and the Royals were able to get 2 runs there, but they're already behind 10-0. So 10-2 was the final score. And Mike, with 19 games remaining at the start of tonight's play, that's really not a whole lot of time. Kansas City, yes, mathematically they still have a chance to get in the playoffs, but those chances are really dim right now, folks. With the loss last night and the Texas Rangers winning, boy, it's going to be awfully tough for Kansas City.
Got a pick-em on our hands for the odds as far as the Chiefs-Eagles game this Sunday, don't we?
Virtually, you can't say literally because the Eagles are a 1-point favorite, but that's a pick-em.
Yes, sir.
And it should be a terrific football game. The over-under is interesting in this one, 46.5. That's not a lot of points. That would indicate maybe 27 to 22 games, something along those lines. It should be. I'm really looking forward to a really good game, and I think the Chiefs win it.
Yeah, I'm going to be there screaming my head off. You know what we need to do before they make this thing legal in December as we get closer to
December
that time?
1st.
Get you to do maybe once a week like a betting school. So, because, I mean, obviously I know what a spread is. I know all that stuff. But I think as the general public, so they can get an understanding of the vocabulary, points, all that stuff.
Happy to.
All right. Well, just don't take his advice on who to pick.
I'm not very good at it myself, but that doesn't matter. When your credibility is limited, which mine is, my bank account's 0. But I can give him the terminology.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can teach you how it works. Just don't take his picks. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.